There have been 3 drug and prostitution arrests in a New Jersey nursing home. Now, this is an incredible story because you rarely hear about prostitution rings in a nursing home, but apparently this was an ongoing problem for many years. A lot of the residents at this nursing home had complained about it, and 3 people have been arrested, but 2 of them are James Parham, who is 75 years old, and 66-year-old Cheryl Cheney also got arrested. And again, they were selling drugs and they were offering prostitutes to people living in the nursing home. Now, this became a problem when people were having sex in the common areas. So there were used condoms on the floor. People were really upset about the crime that was taking place where they were living, which is understandable. But what do you think? I mean, part of me wants to let it go because I don't think that prostitution should be a crime. I don't think you should be having sex in common areas. Okay, don't force other people to deal with that.
At least they were using condoms, which actually there's so many studies on how STDs are going up with the elderly because they're not using condoms.
Right.
So I guess this prostitution ring was promoting safe sex, which I guess is kind of nice.
Yeah, the safe sex part is good. It's good. But as I mentioned, the common area part, bad. Not disposing the condoms properly, bad. But also, if you're elderly and you're living in a nursing home and you want affection and you want the warmth of a prostitute, and I don't mean that in a joking way, you want that kind of connection, I just feel like you should be able to have it. You know what I mean? I wish that it was legal, so if you're looking for that, you can go to a regulated place and you can get what you need, and it's totally fine, it's totally safe.
Yeah, we think that you become a senior citizen, you hit, let's say, 70, and that your brain just shuts off and your sexual thoughts shut off, and they simply do not. Not only do your sexual thoughts not shut off, but the guy is suspected of selling cocaine in a elderly home. Cocaine, heart problems. I mean, this does not seem like a good combination, but it shows you that people still want to live.
Of
Maybe
course.
prostitution and potentially unsafe sex and drugs isn't the best way of doing it, but I think you're right. And most rational people do agree with this privately. People just don't want to talk about it, that if we could legalize some of this stuff, you could control it better, you could tax it, and old people would be able to get off and feel better.
Yes.
Who often have health problems and all kinds of stuff. If some old guy with cancer or some debilitating disease wants to get off, let the guy get off.
Yeah, I have a huge place in my heart for elderly people, and the one thing that I just cannot handle is when I see people either neglect the elderly from their own family or abuse or mistreat elderly people. I mean, it just makes me sick to my stomach, you know? So anyone who disregards them or thinks they're washed up, they don't have needs or emotions, we could just put them in a room and leave them alone. No respect for that. I think that not only do they want to live, they should have the ability to do these things, especially if it's between 2 consenting adults.
Yeah, and not to be too glib about this, but God bless this guy for still working. He was running a prostitution ring, you know what I mean?
He's a very ambitious gentleman.
He's helping the economy. He's helping people have sex. I like this guy.